We are live for this episode of the Strength and Philosophy podcast. Before we start talking too much shit, I'd like to thank our man Austin Gahoy at Killcliff for always sponsoring the cast. You can check him out as he prepares to fight the Fighting Rich Fronings for this year's upcoming CrossFit News Series Change All the Rules competition. And we are brought to you by the wonderful people at Nike Weightlifting, also known as Athlete Performance Solutions. You can reach out to our man TFox66 on Instagram, or you can type in LiftLab20 for 20% off anything on their website. Today I have a very special guest and a very, very, very special guest. To my far right here is our very, very extra special, sometimes needs to wear a helmet in public, John Bennett, who is a wonderful member at this gym, also a more or less lifelong friend of our main guest today, which is Nick Fory.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a while.
It has, yeah.
So we are going to dive in today and talk about your life as the number 5-man or 6-man or 4-man, depending on what regional format we're following. And we're going to go from there. So first of all, why don't you just tell these... First of all, we've got the most fucking loyal podcast following. Now, it's not huge. It's not huge, but it is loyal. That man right down there, he'll be listening to this on his drive home. All right, we'll get it up for you, Kenny. That's right. All right, so Nick, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your gym, and you're from God's country. People probably need to know that as well.
Yeah, down about an hour and a half south, Madison, Indiana. I own a gym, Mad City CrossFit. We've owned it now. We've had it open since 2011, I think. I think it was 2010. We opened fall of 2010, and I've been competing since March 2010. Before we had the open, there were sectionals. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't
know.
No, do I care? All right. But, so sectionals, that's essentially like the open.
It was like a live competition. It was like a lot before the regionals. It was up at the Arnold Classic. I'm sure you know what that is.
I know what that is. I go there every year, watch the freaks come out.
It was up there. It was kind of my intro to CrossFit. So. I recently competed this past year, and now I'm calling it quits. I'm done.
Now, why are you calling it quits?
My body just can't tolerate it. I've had some injuries. I'm battling with some injuries now. I competed with some injuries.
All right, so back me up here. Let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, John, are you from God's country as well?
Yeah, I'm from Madison, Indiana as well.
Can you vouch for the character of this young man?
He's probably, I think I said it at my wedding, he's legitimately the best person I've ever met. Like that. Everything he does is sincere. He tells the truth all the time. So anything you're getting out of him today is probably from his heart. He's all 100%
You let this
true.
guy come to your wedding?
Oh, yeah. Big part of my wedding.
That man would be nowhere near any formal.
We made a lot of fun.
Yeah, right.
I think
Puking in the gutter is fun.
Oh, I think we were pretty drunk before being another guy in his wedding.
Yeah.
Walking people down the aisle just handing.
Yeah, at my house before the wedding, getting dressed.
All right, so you're his standing up for him. It's also fair to mention, John, that you are part of the Indianapolis Fire Department as well as United States Army, and you are here training John just to be a physical specimen, right? And you used to be a former competitive CrossFitter yourself.
Yeah.
How good were you?
Not that good. I was a decent team guy, kind of big fish, small pond. If it was a local competition, I'd do well. Then I think I went to qualified for 3 regionals, went to 2 on a team. Joko CrossFit, which one year we had a really, really, really good team. Then I'm sure we'll get into it, but I just decided I hated CrossFit and everything about it. Like its principles, its competition, everything, and I thought I was in good shape, and I started coming here and pursuing a different goal that means a lot more to me than CrossFit ever did. And not to boost you up any you need to be, but it's
a pretty big deal.
Honestly, the best shape I've ever been in, and I'm moving right along the path I need to be in life, and where I'm going is a pretty cool place. And
do you want to tell people where you're going?
No.
Keep that off the record.
No, I don't. I'd rather not.
Okay, sure. I respect that.
Maybe when it's all said and done, I can come back in a year and do a big podcast.
You can blur out your face. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. So you vouched that Nick's a pretty good guy, and one of the emphasis or one of the reasons really for wanting to have Nick on the podcast is because John and I we bullshit around a lot, but he was telling me when you were at the peak of your CrossFit competitiveness, you were working swing shift and training by yourself at 3 a.m. and falling from the rafters off the rope and breaking your own neck. Now, walk us through what that training was like.
It was pretty rough. I worked swing shift, like you said, for 5 years. So
and where was that at?
It was at Dow Corning. It's a chemical plant over about 30 minutes from my house. So I've been working there about 7. I'm on day shift now. But I used to work, I worked 3 12s day shift from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. off 3, and then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 3. Okay. And then plus overtime days. And so, work out when you could on my off days after a 12-hour shift, before a 12-hour shift. Sometimes it's sneaking in on a 12-hour shift at work. So go to pull-ups on the stairs or something.
So why didn't you just create a GoFundMe account?
There's a story. Yeah, I love the GoFundMe accounts. People start those for just about everything. I feel like I don't know.
So did you feel like paying your own way for your hobby was important?
Absolutely.
Talk about why it's important. You pay for your own way. You didn't sleep. You worked.
My perspective was, you work hard to get there. You should work hard to get there as not just qualify. You know what I'm saying? So you work hard to get there qualifying. You should work hard to get there financially, whatever it takes. That means getting a job, working part time. There's been a story. John knows a story. I don't know. You might know this story too. There was one time somebody made a GoFundMe account talking about people who work real jobs, and so she could go pursue her dream and all this stuff. And I had a hard time with that. So.
And did you share some comments about what you thought about that?
Yeah,
and keep in mind, you have, more or less something to risk because you're Reebok or were a Reebok sponsored athlete. You were one of the top guys in CrossFit.
Yeah.
And you decided to speak out and say, I think this is bullshit, and I commend you for that. Because like a lot of people, they let that money.
The post was changed. They took the post down, they changed it, and it was a lot different with my comment deleted. But at least we got that thing changed. So GoFundMe accounts are good, but I think they're better served for legitimate reasons, not so you can go and
pursue a hobby.
If it's something for a medical reason or lose your house or something like that, but.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And so
that's my perspective.
When you were at the height of this CrossFitness, my understanding is that basically where we live, we're in Indiana, we're in middle America, we are blue collar, hardworking people. We're always going to just beat that ass at anything that requires, hard work. And so my understanding at the time, the regional that encompassed Indiana was like pretty much the best dudes outside of a couple, beach bums from California. We're coming from the Midwest, and this is also, the Fighting Rich Frownings and things like that. And I heard or was told that you always missed going to the games by one spot.
I missed by one spot 2 or 3 times, but I was always kind of, if they took 5, I think I finished 6th twice, 7th once maybe, and then they took 3 one year. I think I finished 4th or 5th. They changed it so much. I don't remember all of it, but I came pretty close for a number of years. So
was that like disappointing to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was 2013. I remember I was in a qualifying spot. Marcus Hendrick, if he's listening, we talked about it. We're buddies. But I was in a qualifying spot going to that final workout, and he absolutely crushed it. All the props to him for setting a world record or whatever. He took that spot, and I think I lost by 2 points or 1 point, one spot, like 2 points. And I look back, it was like on this one workout, if I would have finished 4 seconds faster.
That was his first regional, right? He was like an unknown, right? Or he was an unknown because I remember he's taking. After the first day, Derek French, and you were doing really well. And going up to French, I was like, man, that dude looks like a beast. And he's like, I've never even heard of him. Yeah. And then by the last day, man, that guy, everybody knew his name. He was tearing it up.
No, that was 2000. He made it in 2012.
That's what it was.
2012. 2013 is the year that he kind of come back and.
So you like all these guys here?
Oh yeah,
like all good dudes.
Yeah. Marcus is one of the coolest dudes I know. I love hanging out with him.
Here's an interesting fact, Dan. So Nick, seriously, I mean that too. Nick and I started CrossFit at the same time at a gym. Yeah, like a gym called Fit for the King. it's a long backstory, but
Fit for the king.
yeah,
Oh,
that's down in God's country.
Let me guess, there was 24-hour access and no sweating allowed.
No. Fit for the king is a playoff god, I guess.
Okay.
So like they're real church-going folk. The people
Oh shit! This is God's country.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. This is Madison.
It is a good gym. And then
Why is there so much religion associated with fitness?
Maybe it helps sell.
It buys a temple.
Okay, all right. Are you a God-fearing man?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And you guys are from God's country. Anyway,
Yeah.
Fit for King.
So we started CrossFit at the same time. So I don't think I've ever. I told you this. I don't think I've ever beat Nick in a workout ever the whole time been doing CrossFit.
I watched him beat your ass here one day. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I
It was
remember.
great. Like you were so pissed.
Yeah. So and like
He was talking shit the whole time.
yeah, I get pretty upset. But anyways, and he knows he's always beaten me. So I've always followed his progression through CrossFit really close, and then always try to follow behind him. We'd call each other, be like, "Oh, I did this." I said, "Shit, man, I gotta try to do that." And just never good enough. So he's doing really well in CrossFit, and that year was it that 2013 year? 1 year.
I remember you were up there that year.
Yeah, I crunched the numbers. Like somebody posted the numbers of the regionals, and they put them in a world ranking.
Sure.
Yeah, they do that every year.
Okay, yeah.
And Nick, I was looking at it, I was like, holy shit, Nick didn't make it. This is how good the region was, but he was ranked 8th in the world
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
after the region.
Well, and that was the year too. I think.
So who all was in there? It was the Rich Froning.
It was Rich. Rich was there. Dan Bailey, Graham Holmberg, Scott Panchik, and Marcus Henry were the 5 qualified. And that
those dudes are still
yeah,
legit.
that year, 2010, all 5 of them finished top 10 at the games that year. All 5 of them.
And where's Dan Bailey from?
He's from Ohio.
You like him?
Oh yeah.
You know him that
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Is he- he's
I've known him
a
since
little
2010. I think that was the first year. He was at the section with the Arnold Classic. That year.
Okay.
So that's the first time I ever met him.
So this is like before these dudes are like mini celebs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
Yeah,
before CrossFit was. I mean.
Yeah, so we're having some fun talking about CrossFit and poking fun at it a little bit, but like there are legitimate CrossFit celebrities that are legitimately making money.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's some dudes cranking out some serious dough. Rich Froning's obviously set up for life. Matt Frazier's the same way.
A lot of sponsors, even social media, it's starting to get to the point where people can make some money.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have people's attention, you can sell stuff, right? That's all marketing and advertising is. So these, and the female side,
Oh yeah.
I mean, is just the same. But there with that, so that's the good, right? The good is there's people that are legitimately making a monetary gain from the thing that they're most passionate about. They're most passionate about working out and training and being awesome, and most of them are good dudes, like you're talking about.
Oh,
It's just good dudes. Dan Bailey, all the guys that you mentioned that are top level competitors, good guys and things like that. What do you see happening with people that are, and you guys all kind of got that popularity or that profession more or less by accident, right? You kind of just evolved into it. What do you think about people that are trying now to be a CrossFit celebrity and they're just not? Like the things that they give up to pursue that. 'Cause we see it a lot on social media.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's another. I mean, my health is one of the reasons why I'm quitting. And another is, it's a young man's game. I mean, I got 2 kids. I work a full-time job. I own a gym. Doing all this stuff. We got kids coming out 20 years old. They were mom and dad, not paying for anything. May have a job, may not. May coach a few hours, may not. Work out all the time. And I don't know.
So did you tell Reebok you just didn't want to be sponsored anymore?
No. That's. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of had some communication with him about this time last year, and then all of a sudden things kind of just stopped, and then it just kind of is what it was, and we kind of just really haven't very much communication since. So I know hard feelings toward him. I understand it's a business, and there's no loyalty, so I don't expect him to be.
And so now you said you're moving on, but you still own a CrossFit. Does that just mean you're moving on?
I'm moving on from my competition. I got a buddy of mine who actually has been working out with me for probably 3 or 4 years, and he's a younger guy. He's 25, I think, and so he's wanting to compete. So our goal for him is 2019, 2020. I think this year we're just going to kind of bypass this year and kind of move on long term. He's really 100% bought in. So, and hopefully I can take mistakes that I made and you know.
You wouldn't make him go work the swing shift and train?
Not the
Because that's
swing
what produced
shift.
your
Well,
So what would you change about your training? Do you think you were overtraining the whole time?
absolutely. I was overtraining. I was underfed and underslept.
And do you think that's typical with just about every CrossFitter that wants to be competitive? Because they're watching Rich Froning post videos, you know, training all day long, hitting massive bars and guys like that.
Some people can get away with that, and some people can't. If you just chase the volume, it's my opinion, because I've had now a lot of injuries just because I chased the volume and not the quality of movement and stuff like that, the mobility and the recovery things. And I think for me, the biggest thing was food. I look back when kind of we started, from like 2008 to 2013, I was probably eating 1,500 calories a day.
Yeah, that one summer
you are an adult male, right?
Yeah, I was an adult male.
I'm still on John about this all the time.
Probably not much testosterone, how much I was eating, but you know, and I working out, you know, 3 hours a day and working full time. So it's like I think that kind of broke down my body, and I'm just now starting to feel the toll of it. So.
Are you feeling better now? You still are you still like exercising? You're still
I'm trying, but I'm so limited right now. I have a torn rotator cuff and a bulged disc, so it's kind of limited. I competed. I think I had that region this past year, so I had a stem cell shot in the shoulder, and I'm getting better. It's getting a lot better. I can actually lift my arm again.
Joe Rogan would be proud of that.
Yeah.
I wish I could get that stem cell. Hey, pull over.
But you know, people underestimate the amount that you need to support that kind of training.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like, so we prepared John for this goal race, and there's a substantial amount of training involved with it to get him physically prepared. But when he came in, I was like, we've got to take your recovery and your nutrition maybe more serious than the actual training, because that's what's holding you back, and that's the shit that you know makes you get hurt. So let's go back to your protege. What's his name?
Name's Jacob.
Jacob, the protege. Is he? And you're going to try to help him. You said with some of the mistakes that you made.
Yeah.
Kind of what's that look like for you?
Well, so like another.
What's the program look like? And also, were you programming for yourself when you were?
I programmed for myself. Majority of the time, I did have a coach for a couple years.
Who was that coach?
Coach Chapman. More programming, but
4 hours of training. I was doing it with Nick. Like we would.
It was. I mean, working swing shift. It was too much for me to like. I just literally didn't have enough time in the day. But with Jacob, like I'm taking. He has some clear weaknesses and clear strengths, and so we're just kind of targeting his weaknesses. His volume isn't crazy high right now because we don't need it to be, because we're 2 years, a year and a half out of where he needs to be. So we want him to stay healthy. And I think another thing I did is like I would say it was time for me to snatch, and I was trying to hit a 1 rep max. I would fail 12 times, and I'd be like, I'm not giving up until I hit this. And then all of a sudden my shoulders round forward or whatever, and then now it's like, okay, there goes my rotator cuff. There's a labor. Yeah. And so just kind of, showing him that it doesn't matter necessarily what you do today as much as do today, and then it builds on.
Like, what's the whole week?
Yeah, and I always had the mentality that if I don't get better today, I'm getting worse. And that's completely wrong mentality.
Right.
And it was something that not having someone that I could talk to or kind of go to for feedback and stuff like that, I think was kind of detrimental to a lot of what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like the scary thing about social media. You mentioned like people are watching, Rich Froning, you guys train. And even like I don't know Rich Froning. I can probably pick him out of the crowd. I've heard it at the GLI or whatever. His old man would show up and like drink beer. Sounds like a guy to hang out with, right? You drink beers, watch people exercise real hard. But you never know. Like he might have been eating. I heard something one time. He was like, "Yeah, peanut butter nut." Yeah. That dude could have been eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day in peanut butter. Yeah. Like you don't know.
Sure.
And he, maybe, he grew up on a farm. Maybe that years and years and years of hard work has built a foundation that was so stable for him to train.
And I always said this, that like when you get to the point in CrossFit where you're at that level, you have so many resources and access to the top coaches. Whether that's, Kelly Starr who's doing mobility stuff, or Mike Berger, the coach who CrossFit uses, or Mark Bell, Kyle. They have so many resources that they can sit there and break down each movement and each thing that they do in each component. And it's like almost the best competitor just because of those resources.
Do you see anybody making the gains now if they were to have like the training schedule that you have? Like, do you think that somebody could make the games now and work a swing shift?
I find it really. If they do, they are 100% dedicated to the cause. Because I'd say without my wife, and this is before I had kids, but without my wife, just 100% supporting me, there's no way I could have done it because there's so much sacrifice when you're working 12 hours a day. Plus, it takes me 35 to 40 minutes to get there, so you're looking at 13 and a half hours a day that you're gone. Plus, you need some sleep. So I'm not saying it can't be done. But they better bring it in every aspect.
So what's the difference between like CrossFit for health and CrossFit for competition? Because obviously you still have CrossFit gym, you still believe in CrossFit, you still believe in the methodologies. What's the difference? Like where's this line that's being crossed that's maybe getting people in trouble?
Well, the sheer volume. I think if you do CrossFit for health and for just general fitness, 1 hour a day, 4 or 5 days a week. You're not constantly going for heavy weights. Like I don't think my body frame is built for without adding a substantial mass, without constantly trying to back squat 450 or snatch whatever. And so limiting the volume in that regard, but then also just focusing on the movement volume. So that way, I know this is cliche, but to be able to say when you're 80 years old, you don't need help off the couch or off the toilet, or you can carry your groceries in and do whatever you have to do when you're 70, 80 years old. And I see that with my mom. Like she does CrossFit 4 or 5 days a week. And she has no limitations.
Do you see yourself just going back on top of the CrossFit class once your shoulders all healed up?
Yeah, I think for me, I'd like to kind of do a few different things. I'd like to, just play around some powerlifting or some bodybuilding, do CrossFit two times a week, like traditional CrossFit workouts. I just think mentally more than physically, I also need a break from that grind and that suck.
Yeah, for sure. Do your members at your gym, do they recognize you as Nick, the guy that was the top 8 fittest man in the U.S., or is it just Nick that
that was the world,
or in the world, whatever, or is it like Nick that owns the gym? Like
I think it's both. I mean, we have a lot. I don't know. You were
Yeah.
You what?
He asked about the regionals. If I went.
I don't know if you went down to Tennessee. Well, okay, up in Minnesota. It was up there in Minnesota in 2015. We had close to 30 members go watch. I mean, I know they weren't only going for me. I mean, they like to watch and stuff, but I mean, they also supported me, and I think it's
super loyal.
It's awesome. I mean, we've had that every year that I've competed. A huge crowd of people that go. I feel like it's one of the bigger fan bases there.
Yeah, what I think is really interesting too, because I've been to the games as a viewer, and obviously not a competitor. And regionals as well, but I always think like some of the biggest companies in U.S. histories have been the companies that supported the movements. All right, so for example, when the gold rush happened out west, Levi's denim was born, that brand still stands today. And I like the idea of the CrossFit movement and the idea that we're going to get out, we're going to move more. I like Reebok's slogan of be more human. We're going to get off our ass, we're going to snatch, we're going to swing the kettlebell, we're going to deadlift, we're going to squat. I love that movement. And then you see Rogue as the company that's born out of this, as like the Levi's, right?
Yeah.
Or is the company that's really going to have staying power long after the movement has evolved. Do you see the CrossFit movement evolving and changing, or what do you think the future is like for that as somebody that started with the movement?
Yeah, I think it's going to continue to get bigger. I don't know. Nike's kind of got on board a little bit with it. Sponsored some of the athletes. I don't know about the other companies, but I definitely think that it's been good for Reebok. They kind of launched the NFL there a few years back, so I think Reebok has really been good for them. And as far as Rogue, they're great. They got that staying power. But I think small businesses too. There's been kind of clothing companies, food companies, like people can order meals and ship to their house. I think CrossFit they started up a lot of those kind of small companies.
Even
Fit Aid, a lot of stuff like that has gotten.
Right.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
But it was kind of cool. John was around the same time. Like CrossFit started as a grassroots movement, kind of, and it's kind of cool to see because the first year I competed in regional, it was on some guy's farm in the middle of the field of fire. And we had just like a tent set up, and there's a big rig out in the middle of this field, And one of the events was like a run, and this dude's like woods, like up a hill, and it was really cool. So I mean, it's changed a lot. But I think
guys wearing the 5 fingers.
Yeah,
Did you have a pair?
Dude, I still have a pair.
I just threw them.
I can't throw them out just on
I
nostalgia.
might have it somewhere.
If you watch the I forget which the documentary was about the first CrossFit Games.
Every second counts.
Every second counts. If you watch that documentary, you look in the background, like not what's going on, but you see their sponsors. There's like Lululemon, which was pretty much non-existent at the time. Panda Express, and there's also Coca-Cola banner.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know, the irony, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, just to see about how much has evolved. I mean, we're like a decade into this now, and how much has evolved and has changed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's pretty cool.
And then, like, I can't remember what number of affiliate we were because we affiliated in 2010. But if you look at how many affiliates were back in 2010, how many are now? I mean, it's crazy the number of affiliates that's grown.
Yeah, absolutely. And internationally as well.
Yeah.
Right? You know, people take that for granted, but if you look at, for example, we're teaching a course here this weekend, a USA weightlifting course. If you were in Russia per se, like unless you're identified and going to a talent camp, you don't have the ability to just go train, right? You know what I'm saying? Like to have like this many gyms and have this much access to training, second to none. Right? So it's gotten huge. John Boy,
What's up, man?
priorities in life. All right, we talk a lot about this because you talk about some of your hesitations and your trepidations, but and we talked a little bit about this podcast where you were competing at one point and maybe your priorities in life were questioned. How do you see all that moving forward?
Oh, sure. Well, we can go back and talk about, so if you want it, like Nick, you know, like I said earlier, I always kind of try to follow in his footsteps. You know, try to be as good as him, just never really did it. You know? And so, in
but
CrossFit,
can we commend you just for admitting it? Like,
yeah, sure.
This will be the one when you get beat at something, and you're like, I didn't get beat. For example, Nick, John and I, let's just put this on the internet. A little thing going on. At 215 pounds, I benched 405. Okay, he's trying to tell me he was 185.
181 competition.
365, and that's what he got goal.
345 competition bench press at 181 pounds at the University of Southern Indiana, broke the record. Hey, so
and there's a St. Clair that says my feet was more impressive. The whole thing. He's still trying to
any LA gym fitness male worth his weight in salt over 200 pounds should be able to bench 400 pounds.
Hey, how the hell is it you guys are from God's country, all kinds of farmland, and both of you have the build of an adolescent girl? Like, are you guys still eating corn and beef and milk down there?
Yeah.
I'm only 150 pounds. Yeah, not my fault.
I can't gain weight.
Twisted steel. Hey, we're not big and bloated. This is hard work. This is hard farm
What's your
work.
5K time?
There you go.
One time I ran a 5K. It was on St. Patrick's Day. Before I did it, I ate the world's largest piece of carrot cake. I puked everywhere.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
All right. So anyway, hey, priorities, life.
All right. Man, you just got me off on a tangent. So
hey,
I
you were just admitting that Nick beats your ass in
CrossFit. Yeah, he'll beat anybody. Well, not even. I don't know.
I was commending you for admitting it that you're getting that ass beat.
Hey, I can tell you when I'm wrong, I'll admit when I'm wrong. If I think I can withstand you in jiu-jitsu for however much time.
Let's talk about another ridiculous bet.
All right.
I hate their work though.
Yeah, I can get worked up. All right, so priorities in life. Where was I at? Oh, yeah.
You're
So
a younger man.
So, like around that time period, my priority in life was kind of CrossFit. You know, trying to be really good at CrossFit.
Were you a firefighter at the time?
I was a firefighter in Evansville, Indiana.
You're in the reserves.
Yeah. I was doing a military thing, and then I was also finishing up my college degree at the age of 25, 20-something. I was in like a little pipeline for the military where I had to leave for a long time, on and off, hitting up military schools, and that threw my college career to the wayside. But during that time when I was home, I would do CrossFit nonstop all day long. Follow the same programming as Nick for, I think I did it for about a year and a half. Myself and another one of our good buddies, Derek French. What up, Derek? Followed Doug Chapman's programming. And so, I made CrossFit that priority. Till, honestly, I was sitting at regionals. Which regional was the one we had? Was 2015. I was at that regionals. We had just got done competing on our team.
Like it's over?
Yeah.
You didn't make it?
Yeah, right. So we had a team that was third in the Central East going into that regional, the Central Regional. And our team was stacked. I thought we were going to the games. I think everybody on our team thought we were going to the games. We put probably 2 years worth of hard training into it, and then it all just was nothing. And I was sitting there thinking, I was talking to Derek, Derek was a military guy, and we were just talking about our priorities. And I think he had just had his baby Rosin at that time. Nick had just had a kid. And we were sitting there, we were talking about priorities and how our priorities are really out of whack. Derek would drive from Evansville on a Thursday, get there on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, drive back. He would stay at my house, then drive back to Evansville to work his job as a lineman. Where he was kidding. He's the same boat as Nick, man. With his
real labor.
Yeah, with his work schedule. So we were sitting there talking about our priorities, and then right then and there, I was like, man, I've just completely had the wrong priorities in life. I always kind of made my wife a really big priority in my life. Try to be a good man to her, but my other priority needed to be my career, whether it be as a firefighter or military. And there was a big void in my life. I just didn't feel like I was accomplishing what I needed to be accomplishing. And I think I tried to find that in boxing when I was boxing at a young age, and then to CrossFit, and then from CrossFit. Now I started pursuing this new goal. It's been a very long goal, and it's had its ups and downs, but it looks like it's heading in the right direction. And I feel like this goal, I'm serving something bigger myself, and my priorities are completely off. I think for most people that do CrossFit, I was looking for exception.
But it wasn't. It's not fitness that was.
No.
That you disliked or it wasn't like the training aspect.
Absolutely
just kind of the competitive aspect of it.
Right. The competitive aspect. I would say right now I'm putting in as much time physically in the gym, training, running, than I was.
Sure.
You program my program, and some sessions are 4 hours a day, but it doesn't seem like that because I'm training for a bigger, better, higher purpose goal. Not just myself and having other people come pat me on the back and say, "Hey, good job, John." Now, one thing I did get from all that training was, two best friends and couldn't get anywhere else. Nick was one of my best friends before that. Before we even started doing CrossFit, but Derek French would have met him that way. Now, a lot of the other CrossFit people, Nick, he likes them all. I sure do. I wouldn't have met the Redmonds. Yeah, I wouldn't have met the Redmonds. They're also excellent people. Chase. A lot of good people. Yeah. A lot of not so good people, though.
That's what they are. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So just kind of refocusing the fitness of your training.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nick, what's next for you as we wrap this thing up?
I'm not sure. Get healthy for one, for my priority, and then two, I think for me, I was like the competition. I always wanted to make a game, and I never did. I think that's the only thing that drove me, and I kind of regret actually competing this past year. I probably should have hung it up in 2015, but I think my goal now is to kind of to focus my energy on Jacob and get him where he needs to be.
You don't have any ambitions of doing the Masters or any of that?
As of now, no. I don't know local competitions. I did this workout on Thursday and I breathed hard. I didn't like it. Man, this is what most people feel like not doing this. And it's kind of nice. It's crazy how fast you can lose what you've worked years for. So I don't really have any personal goals as far as competition, fitness related, anything like that anymore. Just want to enjoy my kids and get Jacob Reeves.
Amen to that. I think as we close this out, it's probably good to mention, your wife Holly. Won that a few times. She seems like a lovely already. Never heard anything bad about her. John never bashed her about her, so that's a good sign. And then we should probably give a plug to Lisa Bennett, who's probably the most understanding woman in the entire world. To put up with John Bennett's shit of him, I don't know, training 18 hours a day. And
She is
had to eat more. So, but both you guys and myself as well. My wife's extremely supportive of the things that I do. And I think that's huge. John, Nick, you have anything you want to add? Nick, are you on the Instagrams?
I am, yeah.
What's your Instagram?
At Nick Fory, Fory.
Is it pictures of your dog, or pull-ups, or what?
I don't post that much anymore, but I don't have a dog, kids, a lot of them anymore.
You're not too active on there, boys. You've never been active on social media.
How does a guy with no social media following get a Reebok sponsorship?
Didn't they tell you that you had to
Yeah.
Because you weren't active on it all.
You got to get on.
Yeah.
I consider being a reasonable request.
For sure.
I just don't like to kind of toot my own horn when it comes to stuff, so I don't want to post it. Hey, look at me doing this or doing that. I just always had a hard time doing that, but
you like that first generation CrossFit, that
I just like to work out, and that's how me and John started. It's like we're just like, hey, I bet I can do this better than you. I bet I can go faster, keep more, and that's how me and him started.
Shit.
Yeah, pretty much. We go over to high school and like with a sledgehammer and a tire, and just make stuff up. It's like let's throw the sledge. It's like dumb stuff, but that's kind of how it started for us.
No, that's good stuff. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by today,
appreciate
Nick.
it.
Hope you guys, enjoy your visit. John, whatever.
Yeah.
We're out. Next time.